everyone. My name is Queen. Hi, I'm a pharmacist by profession, but today I'm not going to talk about pharmaceutical products with you. I'm going to show you some product comparison and some product demo on Amway products. The reason why I think this is very important is because initially when I first joined the Amway business, when I was introduced to the products, I feel that when I was flipping the catalog, I was looking at the supplements and the skincare, and I feel that I think the price is okay, pretty reasonable. But when I start looking at the home care products and the personal care products, I feel that it's very expensive as compared to supermarket brands. So I was very hesitant to try the products until I witnessed a product demonstration on all the Amway products. So that is when I realized that Amway products are very concentrated. So we cannot just look at the price that is on the catalog, but at the same time, we have to see the value in it because it's very, very economical. Okay, so welcome everyone. Okay, to my product demo session. So today I'll be focusing on around 10 product demos that you can learn and probably pass down to your downlines as well. Okay, so I'll start with the first product. Today I'll be focusing on three product range. The first would be the Nutrilite products. Second would be our home care products. And third is our personal care products. So I'll start with our Glister. So I'll start with Glister Toothpaste. Initially, when I first joined Amway, my introducer actually introduced me to this toothpaste. So he always tells me that we have to try Amway products, before we try to market it. And he said that why not we switch a brand? So when I hear that switching a brand, I feel that I don't have problem with that. I'm fine with switching a brand. But when a price of the brand that you want to switch to is actually double the price that you want to buy from the supermarket, you get a bit hesitant. Okay, so I hesitated, but until after I found I was shown a product demo, then only I decided to switch to Glister. So I'm going to show you the comparison between these two. So first, we look at Glister. So what's the price of Glister? Is about 22 ringgit and 90 cents member price. And for Colgate, a tube of 200-gram Colgate is it costs about 10 ringgit. So the first thing that we would like to compare is the hole. Okay, so you will see that this Glister, the hole is smaller, and if you look at the paste, it's actually more concentrated. As compared to Colgate, the hole is so much bigger, but it's very watery. Can you see that? It's actually like flowing down. Okay, so it's actually like flowing down as compared to our Glister. Can you see? Our Glister is like very, very thick. So you actually use less of this. In fact, the recommended would be just a pea size. So even though this is 22 ringgit 90 cents, but this tube of Glister can actually last you for 10 months, around 10 months if you brush twice a day, whereas this tube of Colgate can only last you 2 to 3 months. So on top of that, we look at the functions of the toothpaste. So if you buy from outside, usually you can see, Colgate, they have different colors. So there's for whitening teeth, that's for tooth decay, to prevent tooth decay, or for fresh breath. But for Glister, we have 6-in-1. So we have for cleansers to remove plaques as well, and also to promote remineralization as well. So this is a 6-in-1 toothbrush with all the benefits and functions in it. So this is also highly recommended for sensitive teeth. So for people who have sensitive teeth or who would like to prevent sensitive teeth, some people try to use Sensodyne. And I have many dentist friends who tell me that Sensodyne is actually not recommended for people who do not have sensitive teeth yet. So Glister is safe not only for people with sensitive teeth, but it's also highly recommended for people who want to prevent sensitive teeth in future. Okay, so I will go to the second product today. It is our toothbrush. So this is our Glister toothbrush, and this is outside brand's toothbrush. So on average outside, if you buy a cheap one, maybe about 2 ringgit, 3 ringgit in a pack. But if you want to buy a pretty good one, it's probably around 12 ringgit, 13 ringgit and above. So our toothbrush has 4 super good functions. Number one, this is very thin. If you look at this edge here, at the end here, can you see that this is very thin? And this is outside brand's one, is very thick. So this is actually one of the patents of Glister toothpaste. So the thinness here allows us to reach into our wisdom teeth. into our wisdom tooth. So it prevents wisdom tooth decay, which is a very common problem actually. And the second one is that it is a mix of hard and soft bristles. So if you buy from outside, usually you see a soft, medium, or hard bristles, right? But this is a mix of all three. So it reaches into every corners of our teeth, all right? And the third function is that it's very, very flexible. So its bendability allows us to reach into every corners of our teeth in our mouth, whereas outside brands, if you buy the cheaper ones, then it's not possible. And of course, lastly, is the grip. So for one toothbrush like this, it actually costs around 11 ringgit and 50 cents. I wouldn't say it's expensive, it's pretty reasonable actually. And it comes in a pack of 4 and it's made in Germany. Okay. So the third product that I want to show you, oral care, is this Glister mouth rinse. So I'm sure some of us don't have the habit of using mouth rinse. If you're not brought up, your parents don't educate you to use a mouth rinse. Usually we will neglect that. But this one actually reaches into the tiny between teeth corners. Okay, so this is actually very important, mouth rinse. I'm going to show you a price comparison. Okay, so first you look at outside brands Listerine. So Listerine comes, so maybe when you look at this 37 ringgit and 50 cents, right? When you check the product catalog, you would think that it's super, super expensive, even though it says here it's made in USA, but it just doesn't justify the price. But if you look at Listerine, such a big bottle. So what's the difference? Listerine is actually a diluted version. Okay, so when you use this, you don't have to dilute it. Whereas for Glister, you have to dilute it. Can I see the price comparison? So for this one bottle of this, you can use for 100 times. Okay, so it's for 100 users. So how is that possible? You actually fill up water here and then pump around 5 pumps. So if you pump 5 pumps, you can use 100 times. But for me, I feel that it's a bit too minty if I pump 5 pumps. So if you want to do a 3 to 4 pumps, you can probably use for 130 or 140 users. Whereas for this one bottle of 250 ml is around 11 ringgit. So by usage, is actually around double the price of Glister. So you really have to try this, because some people, they would think that Listerine is not minty enough or too minty, but this one allows you to adjust. So even my children can use a mouth rinse. So they can probably just pump 1 time, for them to start adopting the habit of using mouth rinse from since young. Okay. So the fourth product that I would like to show demo of is our body care. Okay, our body wash. So I believe none of us have actually seen a body wash demo before. I tell you, the moment when I first joined Amway, I think it's also my first time seeing demo on body wash. But this is actually so important that many of us neglect. Okay, so I'm going to show you a product comparison between our brand of body wash and outside brand. Okay, so this is a common pharmacy brand and supermarket brand. So first, so how I'm going to do demo is to fill up water, the same amount of water into these 2 containers. And I'm going to put salt. So this is salt to represent our sweat. Okay, so salt in water. So I'll just put the same amount of salt in each container. Okay, and I'm going to put our G&H body wash. So our body wash in it contains honey, pumpkin seed oil, and shea butter. So this is extremely moisturizing for the skin. It also contains a patented anti-irritation complex. So what is the reason of this anti-irritation complex? It actually is very suitable for people with highly sensitive skin. So for example, people with eczema who cannot use any supermarket brand of body shampoo. Okay, so this is very good for people with eczema and also for people with common skin problems, skin condition. Okay, so I just put a bit of body wash here inside, and I also put some in. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just to stir these 2. Can you give me a thumbs up if you can hear me clearly? Okay, thank you. Thanks. Okay, so if you see, you compare these 2, yeah. So this is our brand of body wash, you will see that on the right, on your left, it's actually clear. Okay, so this is G&H, our Amway's body wash. Okay, it's clear. Whereas for this, it's very murky already. So when I stir it, when I give it a stir, you will notice that there's a lot of all these clogs. Okay, so these are like jelly-like. Can you see? It's like jelly. Okay, so this is when you mix salty water, that is our sweat, and outside brand's body wash. So the reason why I want to show you this is that our skin is not like a smooth surface. Our skin contains pores. So when you sweat and when you use this kind of body wash, right, it actually clogs up your skin. It actually goes into your pores. And that is why some people suffered from back acne. You know, their bodies, even though they don't have any skin allergy, but some people, they suffer from acne on their skin. So this is one of the reasons why you can actually get that. Okay, so there's a lot of jelly, so this can get stuck in your pores, especially if you don't rinse it enough or you don't cleanse it enough. But Amway's one, you see, it's very clear, so it doesn't cause clogging to our skin. All right, so that's the reason it's very suitable even for sensitive skin. And the next demo that I would like to show is now we've finished the personal care products. Now we have come to very important Nutrilite products. Okay, so I'm going to show you 4 Nutrilite product demos. The first one would be calcium. Now, last time when I first recommended calcium to some aunties, I remember they tell me, hey, calcium you cannot eat later, it cannot dissolve one, you know, because calcium tablets are very hard. So I'm going to show you how this is not possible, you know, by that your calcium can stay in your body for days or months or years without dissolving. So this is not a product comparison. I just want to show you that calcium can easily dissolve. So our calcium is very different from outside brands. So outside brands, they use like calcium carbonate, you know, they extract it from the caves or from stones and all that. But ours is from red algae. So it's a very high quality calcium. The simple demo that I'm going to show is just by popping 1 tablet of calcium into this bottle of water, and we'll see how it actually dissolves so fast. All right, but I'm going to show move on to the next demo first. So first of all, I want to stress on why is it that we need calcium and who are the people who need calcium supplements. Number 1, when you're a lady who have delivered, you want to prevent osteoporosis, you must take calcium. Okay, so this one can prevent osteoporosis. Second, for growing children. For growing children, in order to develop strong and healthy bones, they have to take calcium as well. So calcium is also a muscle relaxant. For people who feel that they need to relax, they're under stress, they have to take calcium. So it helps you sleep better at night as well. Okay, so for talking about price, the price of a bottle of calcium of 180 tablets is actually 62 ringgit. So it's very reasonable. So our recommended would be about 2 tablets to 4 tablets a day, depending on the needs. Okay, so I'll come back to this later. But even now, if I were to stir this calcium, you will see that it's dissolved already. Right? Okay, so it's easily dissolved. Okay. So I'll move on to the next demo. I want to show you BioC. BioC, our brand of vitamin C. I think many people also heard of people who say that, hey, they don't eat supplements at home. But then the list that they have is usually vitamin C. So vitamin C is actually a very common vitamin. We know that it can boost immune system, especially now during the COVID-19 pandemic. I think we all have to work on boosting our immune system, because you can get this virus from just anybody. Anybody can possibly pass the virus down to you. But what we can do is actually to strengthen our body system so that we can fight against the virus effectively. So I will show you a comparison between our brand of vitamin C, pharmaceutical brand of vitamin C, and for people who have a bit of aches here and there, they don't feel well, they don't want to take vitamin C, they want to buy Panadol, they want to use Panadol from outside. Okay, so I would just want to compare the effectiveness of this. So what I'm going to use is using this potassium hypermanganate. I'm using iodine as a representative of toxin in our body. Because when I put this inside, if something has antioxidant properties, that means it is going to turn this into a colorless solution. So that means it has antioxidant properties. So this is what we call anti-cancer causing agents lah, okay? So I'll just put a few drops. So these toxins are like representing, you know, the barbecue that we eat, the unhealthy fried chicken that we eat, okay? So, I'm going to put the cotton in. So cotton represents our body organs lah. So this is just a representation, all right? So first, I'm going to put our BioC, okay? So I'm just going to put half a tablet inside this, and later we'll see how it works. The second one, I'm going to put outside brands effervescent vitamin C. So this is a very common, more common brands would be like Redoxon, okay? This is Cidion, okay? I also put half a tablet in, all right? So let's see how it works. And the third one would be Panadol for people who think they don't want to take vitamins. They want to take something that you can easily get from any supermarket or sundry shop, okay? You don't need any prescription from a doctor. So it's actually a relatively safe medicine, but we'll show you the effects of it, okay? So first, I will start with looking at Panadol, okay? So by stirring Panadol, you'll see that did the solution turn colorless? No, it didn't. So the reason why it didn't turn colorless is because Panadol does not have antioxidant properties. Panadol treats only symptoms. You have headache, it treats your headache. You have menstrual pain, it treats your menstrual pain. But after 4 hours or 6 hours, you have to repeat your dose because your problem is still there. Okay, it doesn't treat the root cause of your problem. And over time, you will notice that there's actually sediments on this bottle. That means the Panadol will not fully dissolve, which is why we as pharmacists, when we work in a hospital, when we prescribe Panadol to people, we will tell people that Panadol is not something that you can take more than 8 tablets a day because it is going to be harmful for your liver. All right. The second demo that I want to show you is this one. The second one. Okay. So this is vitamin C. So maybe you will think, hey, very good. This one turned colorless already, right? But this one not only has it turned colorless, but it has also given you an orange color. So this is artificial orange. So for people who actually still have Redoxon or, you know, all this effervescent at home, you go home and try to smell it. It's actually a synthetic flavoring. So in this bottle, even though it shows orange color or orange here, none of the ingredient is made of orange. So it's 100% chemically synthesized in the lab. All right, it's not natural sourced orange. So the third one that I want to show you is our Nutrilite. So our Nutrilite does not contain coloring or additional stuff. And you see that it's actually very clean. Okay, so it turns our solution colorless. So this is very good as an alternative to outside brands vitamin C or even Panadol. So this one improves the root cause of the problem that we have. So one benefit that we have from vitamin C is if you hear from outside that people say, hey, you cannot take so much vitamin C because it's a waste if you take too much. If your body cannot absorb, it's going to come up as expensive urine. So this is some people who are more educated, you know, when they Google about vitamin C, this is what they find. But what Amway has is our Nutrilite BioC is actually a slow release form of 8 hours. So when you take 1 tablet of vitamin C, it is going to stay in your body for at least 8 hours. So it won't be flushed out from the system, and your body has 8 hours for it to actually absorb this vitamin C. Our recommended dose is at least 2 a day, all right? Because 1 tablet of vitamin C is 500 mg. So when you still have vitamin C in your body, even though you add additional toxins in it, all right, it will still turn colorless. Okay, so it ensures that our body has vitamin C supply lah. All right. So the next demo that I want to show you all. So on top of that, our vitamin C is also very good for good skin. Okay, if you want whitening skin, you can take BioC. And for me, during pregnancy, I really take a lot of vitamin C because it actually helps to prevent varicose veins. Not only that, it also helps to prevent stretch marks. So even though I have 3 children, in I delivered 3 kids in 4 years, but I don't have a single stretch mark on my tummy. All right. So the next demo that I want to show is Salmon Omega. So Salmon Omega complex is what is commonly known as fish oil. So fish oil is good as an anti-inflammatory. So it reduces inflammation. So maybe for people who don't know what inflammation means, inflammatory reactions would be cases like when you have eczema, or you have asthma, or you have joint pain. These are all inflammation, all right? So this is anti-inflammatory, and it works the same as steroids. So steroids is not something that is safe for use because long-term is going to cause stomach irritation. It might cause gastrointestinal bleeding. On top of that, steroids can also cause thinning to the skin that nobody realized for prolonged use of steroid. So Salmon Omega is a very safe anti-inflammatory, and you can start using since young. I mean, my kids have been taking fish oil since they are about 1 year old, where we actually poke it and remove the oil and put it in their rice. But now my 2 kids, since they are 7 and 6 years old, they have been able to swallow our Omega, Salmon Omega. Okay. So I'm going to compare between our brand of fish oil and outside brands. So this is also very good for brain development, all right? So for children, I certainly stress this to be given to children, all right? But of course, Amway Nutrilite, they also have the gummy type, you know, the gummy omega-3. So our kids can take that as well. But this is what I've been giving my kids so far. So on top of that is also, it also protects our heart and also our brain. So it can prevent Alzheimer's, you know, like for memory loss in older people, all right? So I'll just remove the oil from the fish, from the capsule, from the soft gel. So this is our Amway one, all right? So I'm just removing the oil and putting it on this polystyrene, very thin layer of polystyrene. And we'll see what actually happens to this, all right, after some time. So for people who have problems of joint pain, for example, not only do they take our osteoglucosamine, not only do you take glucosamine, this is highly recommended because it actually acts together. Okay, so we look at this polystyrene. Okay, can you actually see that the X is corroded already? It may not be so clear right now, but later we'll come back to see this, okay? So the reason why this happens is because in it contains ethyl ester. So what is ethyl ester? I don't mean that by eating this X brand of omega, it causes corrosion in your body. It's not like that. But when you take this, it actually contains ethyl ester, meaning the reason why companies add ethyl ester in it is to create ester bonds to increase the concentration of omega inside. So increase the concentration of EPA and DHA. But ours is 100% natural. So it's up to you whether you want to take something that is synthetic, you know, chemically synthesized, or you want something that is natural. So for me, I always tell people, when you go to the pharmacy, of course, don't look at, you know, the content only. Don't look at how many mg. And when you compare the mg and then with the price, then you thought that you got the best deal. I tell you, for 1000 mg or 300 mg, in pharmacy, there's so many different kinds of price. So anything that is synthetic, that means it is able to make the concentration to be super high because it's synthetic. So for natural, one good thing is that at least it is safe and it's natural. Okay, so this one you can see even clearer already. So for supplements for omega-3 that contains ethyl ester, generally is actually cheaper, and also the concentration is higher. But we always focus on safety and quality of supplements, so I always recommend this all right? So if you want a higher concentration, just take more. So I usually recommend for maintenance, you know, just for a general well-being, you can take one. But people with condition or they want to have additional benefits from this, you can take 2 or 3 a day. All right. So the next demo that I want to go through is our Lecithin E. Okay. So for people who frequent maybe organic shops, maybe you have seen Lecithin before. So Lecithin is actually something a fat emulsifier. So if you want to lose weight, I think Lecithin is a very good thing. So Lecithin E is a combination of lecithin and vitamin E. So vitamin E is actually an antioxidant. So how is it different from vitamin C? Because vitamin C is also an antioxidant. Now vitamin E is an oil-based antioxidant. So which one do you need? A water-based or an oil-based? Of course, we need both because we have oil parts and water parts in our body. So you want antioxidant in our whole body. Obviously, you need a water-soluble and also a fat-soluble vitamin antioxidant. So I will compare not between brands, but between someone who takes Lecithin E, and if you're not taking Lecithin E, you have to see how it actually affects your blood vessels, okay? So I just add water into these two containers, all right? So I'm just going to add oil because I told you that it's a fat emulsifier, right? So I add equal amounts of oil into these two containers, okay? All right, so so I just take 1 tablet of this Lecithin E. Okay, Lecithin E is in a chewable form. All right, so you can actually chew it lah, or you can blend it in your smoothie. If you're taking our Nutrilite morning shake, right, you can actually blend it in your smoothie. So it's coated with honey, so you can actually chew it if you want, like I said. But if you don't want, no problem, you can just swallow it. And vitamin E is also very good for your scars. So if you want to heal your scars, like your pimple scars, you have to take more vitamin E as well. So what I'm going to do is just to crush this vitamin E. Okay, this is a tablet crusher, and put it into one of these containers. All right, so this is the crushed Lecithin E, which I'm going to put into this container. Okay, and I'm going to give these two containers a good shake. Okay. All right, so these two represents our blood vessels. So this is the blood vessel of someone who is taking Lecithin E, and this is the blood vessel of somebody who is not taking Lecithin E. All right, so I'm just going to dip these 3 times into the water. So can you see here? So if you can see, maybe you have to focus this. Okay, so this is if you don't take Lecithin E, you can see a very thick layer of oil on it. And this is if you are taking Lecithin E, you only see small droplets, okay? Huh? So you can actually touch it, okay? There's no oil here, okay? So what does Lecithin E actually do? What Lecithin E does is that you see our blood vessels like that. So this is like our blood vessels, okay? So when you take oily food, it is going to stick on your blood vessels. So the smaller your blood vessels are, the faster your blood has to pass through. All right. So it is if you have if you have all this oil that is accumulating on your blood vessels, you are going to get high blood pressure. But when it's completely blocked, then you are going to get stroke or heart attack lah. So which is why people who have heart attack or stroke, it's not because yesterday you eat something oily, you know, or the day before you eat KFC, you eat 10 pieces. It's not like that. All these are accumulated over time. So people who are healthy and fit at the age of 40, it's not because at the age of 39, they choose to have a good, healthy, you know, lifestyle. It's because they started very young. They started 5-10 years ago already. So start as young as you can, all right? So it doesn't matter whether you're eating home cooked food or what. Basically, our food contains oil. So our recommended dose would be about 2 or 4. You can take more tablets a day if you think that you have been taking a lot of oily food lah. So some people like to carry Lecithin E around. So whenever you take oily food, you just swallow a few more tablets of Lecithin E. So okay, it's very, very safe for consumption. Okay. So the next demo that I want to show you, the next one I'll come to home care products. Okay, so home care products, like I said, if you look at the product catalog, which I really urge all of you to, when you look at the product catalog, you realize that Amway products seem very expensive. Okay, so we always need to not only show demo, but also try to use the products ourselves to actually witness the benefit of it. Okay. So now I'm going to show you one very powerful thing, which is this LOC. LOC is actually Amway's first product. So LOC is our multi-purpose cleaner. And if you look at this BioQuest formula, it means that it's biodegradable. So all our Amway home care products, when you see BioQuest formula, that means it's biodegradable. And it's in concentrated form, whereby if you dilute it into this, in a 1:9 dilution, 9:1 dilution, that means you put 9 parts of water and you put just a little bit of LOC, you can actually constitute 10 liters of LOC bottles. So it's really amazing, you know, 10 liters of LOC just by constituting 9 parts of water and 1 part of this one. So 9 parts of this LOC. So 1 bottle of this is actually 27 ringgit. So when I use this to mop the floor, I usually use, just replace it with a pump dispenser. So I just pump 1 time and then I can mop the entire house, and it's a no-rinse formula. And because it's biodegradable, so it's actually made from coconut oil. So it's not, it's not harmful for even our kids or what. So for my kids, I actually use this to wash their toys, wash their Lego, wash whatever toys that they have, all right? So I will show you the effectiveness of this, even though it's so safe, you know, free from those harmful chemicals. So what I'm going to do is just to take some of this shoe polish, okay, and apply it on my hands. Okay, can you see it? Okay, so apply it here. All right. So what I'm going to do is just to use a bit of LOC. I just dip it like that. I just put a bit of LOC and rub it on my skin. So it's not harmful, yeah. It's not painful. It doesn't stink. It's extremely natural. In fact, it's very moisturizing, in fact. All right, so I just rub it and then use a piece of cotton to wipe it dry. So it wipes really well, you know, even for shoe polish or wax. So the problem with people is sometimes not to wash it, not to wipe all these things away, but how to get rid of the stain from your cloth. So that is one of the big problems that people have. So what I have is actually a bottle of water here, a container of water. So I'm just going to show you how easily the stain can be removed from your cloth, even without, you know, scrubbing the cloth. So if you see, it's very clean. Okay, so you won't get stained tablecloths, you know, you won't get stained cloths. All right. So the next demo that I would like to show you is our all fabric bleach. So not only is our bleach biodegradable, you know, that means it doesn't harm your hands. It's actually in powder form. So what our bleach can do is not only for you to clean our clothes, you know, bleach as a normal fabric bleach, but this is also very safe for you to use on your teapots and kitchenware. So I'm going to show you some of the slides, you know. So this is the prayers cup, you know, the Buddhists, they like to, when they pray right at the altar, they will put tea. So prolonged tea in a cup will definitely stain this cup. So this is the demo that we did, you know. So what we do is actually to put a bit of powder, all right, and then fill it up with hot water, fill up the cup with hot water. So after you leave it for about 5 minutes, 10 minutes, this is what you get without scrubbing. So this is extremely effective because for many people, even though they scrub it with soap powder or what, they keep scrubbing it, but the stain just won't go off. But with this, you can see that the cups are thoroughly cleansed already, are thoroughly clean already. All right. So This one can really last you very, very long, all right? And this one, you can soak your clothes in it for a longer period of time, not like Clorox, you know? And for Clorox, for people who want to wash their toilets with Clorox, is actually very harmful for, you know, it's not good for you to smell the fumes of this Clorox, but this is generally extremely safe. You can actually touch it with your own hands, okay? So the next demo that I would like to show is one of the products that we actually use on a daily basis. So this is our dish drop. Okay, so this drop is used to wash dishes. So for one bottle of this is actually 30 ringgit, you know, 30 ringgit for 1 liter of bottle. But if you buy outside for a similar amount, 900 ml here, maybe about 5 ringgit. So how is the price justifiable? You know, for new people who have never tried Amway products before. But I can tell you that if Amway products are expensive, not only will I not sell to people, I myself won't use it as well. Because who would, I mean, if you find that it's of no value, and if you use it, no matter how cheap or no matter how expensive or how nice you want to treat your friend, you know, just because your friends sell it to you, you want to buy it from them, you can only buy it once. Because the reason, the moment you realize that it's expensive, you know, overpriced, you won't want to repeatedly buy it anymore. So I'm going to show you a very important demo on this product. Okay, I'm going to show you a comparison, even though this is so much more cheaper. But why is that so? Because this is actually a concentrated formula. So concentrated means you have to dilute it. So the dilution method is to put 5 parts of water. That means you are going to get this bottle from Amway. You put 5 parts of water until here. All right, you fill up until water until here. And then you take the dish drop and fill up until here. So for every 5 parts of water, you only use 1 part of dish drop, which means that 1 bottle of this can actually dilute into 12 bottles of this, making this 1 bottle 2.50 ringgit only. It's super reasonable. And not only that, this is actually a safe fruit and vegetable wash. So you can actually wash your broccoli, apples, you know, the skin that has a layer of wax on it, or grapes. So this can be washed effectively as well. So I'll show you a simple demo of comparison between these two. Okay. So what I'm going to do is to take 2 spoons and to put oil on it. Okay. Since we are washing the dishes, so there has to be oil. So put equal amounts of oil, all right? And first, now I'm going to use the diluted dish drop, okay? A few drops of diluted dish drop. And then the concentrated dish drop from outside. It can be Joy brand or any brands, okay? And then I just like wash it, all right? Wash this one. And then I'll wash this as well. Okay, then I'll dip it into these 2 cups. Okay, put a bit more water. All right, 1, 2, 3. Can you see the difference? So you will notice that this spoon is, our Amway spoon is thoroughly clean already, but this one still has a lot of stain on it. Okay. So it still has sediments on it. And not only that, when you compare the water, this one, Amway's one, is clear. But outside brand's water is actually murky. So the reason why is that ours is biodegradable. So even if you use this to water the dishes, water the plants, pour it in the drain, it will not kill the fish. It will not harm the environment. So this is a very important point. So for something that is even more economical, that has even more benefits, why would we want to switch back to the supermarket brands, right? So I would highly recommend people, if you want to start on one home care product, I think this is the home care product that you have to start with. All right. So if you look at the screen, there's actually, these are the benefits of using dish drop as a fruit and vegetable cleaner. So when you use you put a basin, and then you put a few sprigs of this diluted dish drop, you will actually notice that the broccoli, the top layer of broccoli, the wax is gone. So sometimes if you run it over water, right, even if you run it over water, the wax will not leave. So you will feel that the water cannot actually stick into the veggie to cleanse it properly. All right. So you will see, so that's some of the common things that some of the common fruits and vegetables, fruits that I use to wash with this dish soap is actually grapes, broccoli, apples. So these are the fruits that has actually a thick layer of wax on top lah. Okay. So lastly, I'd like to show you our soap powder. All right. So I'm sure many of us actually use soap powder at home because it's actually more economical as compared to liquid detergent. Okay. So this so when we talk about soap powder, by looking at the slide, or one pack of soap powder, let's say top of 2.5 kilogram is actually 15 ringgit. All right, it's not expensive. But when you look at our Sa8 home soap powder, for 1 kg is actually priced at 33 ringgit. So it's very expensive. Firstly, it's more expensive. Secondly, it has a smaller, it's actually even lighter than buying from outside. But if you wash clothes at home, you will notice that the spoon for the soap powder is actually very big. So I don't have it with me right now, but this is our Sa8 soap powder. So this one is what is used to scoop our soap powder to be used in the washing machine. So let's say, for example, if you're using top, let's say right now, I'm sure that you know that the spoon is very big. So I've actually measured the ratio of spoon size. For every scoop of the top is actually 8 scoops of this. So if for regular load of washing, let's say if you use 2 scoops of the top spoon, you actually need 2 scoops of this small spoon as well. So it's very, very economical. And you don't have to carry such a heavy load of, soap powder every so frequently. But with this Amway soap powder, it's also biodegradable. So it doesn't harm our hands, and it's very good for our environment as well. So nowadays, when people keep talking about saving our environment, I think this is when we can do our part, especially when the product is reasonably priced. Okay. So I think at the end of the day, there's a reason why is it that Amway has been around in Malaysia for 45 years, and many people still enjoy using Amway products. So definitely, even though when you look at the price, it's expensive, but I think we have to have our own testimony on the products. So I advise and encourage everyone to actually try using Amway products, not just 1 or 2, but maybe whatever products they have finished using, you can actually switch to our brand. Or if you're a business builder, don't wait for the products to finish first. I think because we need all these X brand to show demo, right? So keep your X brand, buy an Amway product. So as the same time as you're using the products, you can actually show demo as well. And we also offer 100% satisfaction guarantee for all our products. So for every single demo that I show you today, if you think you used already, you're not satisfied, you can still return it to the Amway company and get 100% money back. So it's fantastic, Amway actually offers this to Malaysians, to all of us here. So even though there's risk of abuse, but Amway is so confident in the products that they sell that they are sure that people are going to be satisfied using their products. All right, so that's all for my sharing for today. But since there are some new people here, so I would encourage if you have any question about any of the products, you can actually ask us here.